Well, slowly I'll have to come up with something. So, hello everybody! Something that I will never be good at is opening this thing. We are live with episode 4 of the Showerpodcast. I'm your host Chip, where I podcast from my shower and you do you. Just a quick summary about what happened after I recorded episode 3, because as I said, I was in the middle of it. And I'm happy to report that me taking a break, making that episode and just thinking out loud about the thing that was happening made me enjoy it 1,000,000 times more. And I actually was both lucky, but also I enjoyed the moment way more because I lowered my expectation and I went into it with a different mindset. And so as a small extra is when you are doing an activity that maybe you're expecting to receive 10, you're receiving 7, take a break and try to look at it with a different perspective, different attitude, even a few minutes after. And I can guarantee you that it will help you tremendously, because to me it made the world of a difference making that episode. So yeah, what can I say? Speaking out loud indeed helps. I'd like to experiment today with a bit of a different kind of episode. If I have to be honest, it's the kind of episode that I had in mind when I came up with this. And this is because, if you remember from episode 1, I told you that this idea came to me while I was on a plane. And one of the topics that I was brainstorming while I was landing and hoping that nobody came up with an idea like this, was discussing about the airport, because I am so amazed that amazed about myself, also about what I'll be saying in a moment, but every time that I go to the airport, I keep on saying, my God, like if I ever doubted myself in my life, the moment that I enter that place, I'm like, okay, I'm not that bad. I'm actually a pretty functional human being. Because I have so many things to say that I'll try to squeeze it in within these 8 minutes that we have together. But I'll just brainstorm over what recently, or again, every time that I take a plane, amazes me. First of all, is for sure when we do the controls. Like I see people with 700 luggages with them, which means that I'm sure it's not your first time having a flight. And they keep on being surprised that they had 55 liters of shampoo in their luggage. Like, it's written everywhere. When you did the check-in, it was written there. Like, they ask you when you go with the luggage there, how are you surprised? How is it possible to be so, mindless in that moment? It absolutely amazes me. Another big thing is, the classic, but when you're landing and first of all, the plane is still moving, people decide to stand up to go places. I just generally don't get it. It happened to me recently that my luggage was moved a few seats back. So when it landed, I actually had to stand up relatively quickly to go grab my luggage because, well, I didn't want to wait for everybody. But even then, it took 1 minute, like overall, from me waiting for the plane to end, go grab my luggage, squeezing back to my place and waiting. That kind of movement, I would be so happy to talk with somebody that does psychology or anything to explain to me what happens to people when they are in those environments. And speaking of that, also when you have to go onto the plane, people with non-priority booking that already have a place assigned to them, who have not been asked to leave their luggage below. So we are removing all the possibilities in which you might understand why you wanted to stay first in line to board on the plane. They stay there and wait 40 minutes without moving to, I really generally don't know. I've always wondered, what is that makes these people decide to do that? I really hope that down the line, if this thing gets more traction, somebody please explain to me what comes to your mind when you blatantly stay there and wait 30 minutes for something that could have either way will happen overall in 5 minutes if you just wait for the things to go through normally. And yeah, it's a place that it shows so much about people. And I think that really, if you want to test somebody, if you want to make sure, if you want to understand, if you can trust them, if I don't know, you you want to confirm the idea that you have about them in a good or in a bad way, I don't know, just plan a trip, take a plane, and see how they act in the airport. Because really, to me, this is an exact science. I've never been surprised in a bad way from the people that I had a high regard of, and I was never surprised in a bad way by people about whom I knew that they had no hope when it comes to these kind of things. It's amazing. I'm sure there is a study, and actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I will really want to research. Maybe I'll come back to it with the next episode to understand what is it in these kind of I don't know, full places where there's lots of action, lots of people, that people just flip and decide that they want to behave the way that they do. Again, absolutely fantastic. And please, if you have any suggestion of any other thing that bothers you or you think it's absolutely ludicrous when it comes to the airports, feel free to write it down in the comments, because yeah, it's a magical place for sure. And I really wonder, when will it be that I will stop just looking around and being amazed about their actions and just accept the fact that these things happen and I have to put up with them. If I can summarize it in any way, at least from my perspective, it is a place that puts my mind to the test, and also my patience. Like, the way that I'm patient at the airport, like, it's beyond whatever I will be able to tolerate in a day-to-day basis, because yeah, maybe also that environment changes also me, I guess. Enough rambling. I hope you're done with your shower or whatever you were doing while listening to this. This was episode 4 of the Shower Podcast, and well, see you tomorrow with episode 5.